Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we're going to play with pattern paper and a stamp set that coordinates with it. This is the Photoplay paper Sugar Plum Christmas. How fabulous are these colors? They just make me smile. We're going to use some of the pattern papers in here, and I'm also going to be using the coordinating stamp set. We're going to basically be using the greetings and the holly in here. Maybe the candy canes. We'll see. And then I do have the coordinating die set that we're going to be using. We're going to make 2 cards. One of them is going to be just using a sheet of pattern paper. And then the other one, we're going to be doing a little bit of coloring with alcohol markers. And I'm going to be using this image here. This is the 12 by 12 Sugar Plum Christmas Color Me cardstock sheet. These are pretty inexpensive. If you don't want the investment of stamps, these sheets are perfect for that. For coloring in, the cardstock is super smooth, and so I thought we would use one of the images in here today. This says Sweet Christmas Wishes, and we may use this or one of the greetings in here because this one has Sweet Holiday Wishes also, but I was partial to the Sugar Plum. I'm always partial to sweet treats, so that called me. Okay, so we're going to start by doing coloring first, and then I'm going to pick out some pattern papers, and we'll jump in and get started. Okay, I have our holly and berries, our candy canes, and 3 greetings, and I left a little extra room on top here because we're going to be using the holly stamp a few times. I'm going to use my black ink that is alcohol marker friendly, and we'll just go over our images here. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to wipe off everything, and we're going to stamp our holly a few extra times. So we have our stamped images. I have 4 holly. I may not use them all, but it's always good to have more than less. And then I also have my candy canes. And of course we have our plum pudding. So I'm going to share with you the colors that I'll be using. I'm using these alcohol markers. Okay, and just to save a little bit of time, I'm going to speed the video up a little bit. I'll play a little bit of music while I color, maybe a little Christmas music, and then I will catch you back. Okay, my coloring is all done. I'm going to go ahead and trim out my plum pudding and also block off this greeting here, and then I'm going to take the coordinating die set and I'm going to cut out all of my stamped images, and I will be right back. Now that all of our images are fussy cut out and die cut out, we're going to put these to the side. We're going to be using 3 12x12 sheets of pattern paper. I'll tell you the names of them. Sending Cheer, and I love that Photoplay has 2 different patterns on one sheet, and I like the scale of these. If this was put on a 12x12, it'd be a lot larger, so the scale of these are perfect for card makers. So I'll be using both of these. This is called Sending Cheer. I'm also going to be using Holiday Mail. I fell in love with this. In fact, this is going to be a focal point. Holiday Mail is one of those sheets that you could pick up individually and just create a card on its own with, because you have all of these fabulous stamps that make great images on cards. So we'll be using this, and then also we're going to be using Candy Cane Wishes. The reverse side has lots of candy canes, but we're going to use the tone on tone for a background. So I'm going to trim these down, and we're going to jump in with our first card. I trimmed down my pattern paper, and while I was trimming it down, I thought I would use squares, but changed my mind and thought we would go with arches. So I brought in my Say It With Stamps Nested A2 Arch die set and created one with my pattern paper and one that was slightly larger with white cardstock. Okay, we have this fun, sweet Christmas pattern paper. We're going to adhere it directly to our card base. My card bases were created with the Photoplay Papers A2 card bases. All I did was fold it in half, use my bone folder, reinforce that score line, and my card base is good to go. Let's adhere this to the front, just using our tape runner. This panel measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. So we have a little bit of a white border all around. Okay, we have our arches. I'm going to flip them over, and then we'll layer these 2 together. And then I'm going to just flip it. I've been loving the way that arches look upside down, so we're going to flip this arch. I'm going to place it where I want it with some adhesive, and we're just going to place it in the middle here. And then I have a 1-inch strip of the pattern paper. The reverse side of this is the stamps. I'm going to layer this right across the top here. And anything overhanging, we're going to trim away with scissors. We have a strip of our striped paper. We're going to add some adhesive behind here. And this is going to go directly across that green strip of pattern paper. And this strip was 1/4 inch. So the green was 1 inch tall. The striped paper was 1/4 inch tall. Now we're going to go ahead and add our Christmas suite. I put foam tape behind it. This is going to go directly on the bottom here. We're going to center that. Then we have our holly and berries. I put foam tape behind here also. And we're going to layer this on this top corner here. Okay, we're going to take our greeting. For this card, I chose Sweet Holiday Wishes. I popped it up with some foam tape, and we're going to add this to our sweet treat. Wonderful. And then for finishing touches, I'm bringing in some glaze, and I'm going to go over all of the sprinkles with my glaze. And then I'm also going to go over our holly berries. We'll add some shine to that. And that will finish off my first card. It's a little bit cloudy now, but of course it will dry clear, and that will finish off that card. For my next card, I brought in some more pattern paper. I thought we needed some pinks for this card to match the berries here on our holly leaves. So this sheet here is the Sugar Cottage. And I trimmed this down to fit behind this pattern paper here. Okay? Basically what I did was just trim out all of these, let's see, all these 6 stamps to create a rectangle. And then what we're going to do is mat this piece on our pink pattern paper. Okay. Before we go any further with this piece, I'm going to take my background panel, which measures 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and I'm going to directly adhere this to the front of my card base. We're going to cover the entire card base with this pattern paper. Okay, I'm going to add some foam tape behind here, and we're going to place this on our card. And I'm placing it more towards the left, leaving a little of this pattern paper showing on this end. Okay, now I also went through this pattern paper and I found some images that were the same size as the stamps. What I'm going to do is, so what I did was just trim them out, okay, and I took away the postage edge. What we did was just remove the postage edge from all of the outline. So we have our nutcracker, we have a cupcake, we have some snowflakes here, we have Deck the Halls stocking, we have a little candy, and then my greeting is going to be over here, so I didn't bother adding another one here. So what we're going to do is add a little dimension to our card. So I'm going to flip this over, and we're going to add some foam tape behind each one of these. We'll go ahead and layer these. You see the dimension that it adds? I just love doing this. And that looks great on its own, but we have our stamped images. What we're going to do is take our greeting, Sweet Christmas Wishes. This was from our Color Me sheet. And I'm going to add it. Okay, and then we have our candy cane. I put foam tape behind here. We're going to add this over here. We have our holly that I also popped up with some foam squares. And we're going to do a little tucking with these. I'm going to bring back my, for finishing touches for this card, I'm bringing back my glaze. We're going to go over these berries. And that will finish off that card. So here's both cards that we made today using the Photoplay papers. Sugar Plum Christmas 12 by 12 collection pack. We used the stamp set, the coordinating die set, and the Color Me paper, which is pretty wonderful. Thanks for joining me. Have a fabulous day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.